The Dallas Cowboys just broke the NFL, so we're going to be going through that and other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Cowboys break the NFL by trading for Trey Lance. The Dallas Cowboys made a huge move on Friday by trading for San Francisco 49ers quarterback Trey Lance. It was a move that immediately sent the sports world into a frenzy. Such a trade sent the number 3 overall selection of the 2021 NFL Draft to the biggest brand in the NFL. Naturally, all eyes will be on Lance as he makes his transition to the Lone Star State. On one hand, the move raises eyebrows because Dallas has a franchise quarterback in Dak Prescott. But on the other hand, the move makes a lot of sense for both parties ahead of the upcoming regular season. For one, it provides a good bit of insurance behind Prescott, should an injury occur. Sure, the Cowboys won games with Cooper Rush last season, but Lance provides a much higher ceiling. And he does some of the things that Prescott is good at, such as moving in and out of the pocket, throwing on the run, and creating with his legs. Combine that with the fact that Lance is still on a rookie deal, and it was worth the low-cost capital that the Cowboys had to give up. As for Lance, it provides a fresh start with a franchise that is contending. Either Lance will get an opportunity behind Prescott, or he will be able to learn from the franchise signal caller. There's not really a loser in this scenario. Dallas wanted to upgrade the backup position, while Lance wanted a chance to play somewhere else. Both parties got just that with the trade. Prescott spoke about the trade for Lance as well. "I understand it's a business. That's a first-round talent, and you're always trying to make your team better. But that was the front office. We're going to welcome Lance as we do any teammate, and hopefully he makes us better. And then we're going to continue to get back at it. I know we've got one goal as a team," said Prescott. Before the game, Jerry Jones said that he had not talked to Prescott about the deal getting done with Lance. When Prescott was asked if he expected a heads-up, he said not necessarily, since he knows the business aspects that go into the trade. But when he was asked if the trade surprised him, he said, "To be honest with you, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. You've been in this league 8 years, been on this team. It's hard to say that I was surprised, to be honest with you." As for how he views how the trade could impact any contract talk with the team for an extension, he said, "I'm going to leave those talks in the office where business is handled. So that'll come at a time when that happens." The second story is Dak Prescott has this to say about the upcoming Cowboys season. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott's previous 72 hours have been a whirlwind. Prescott learned Dallas was trading for Trey Lance, which, in turn, meant Will Grier, whom he loves to death, was getting cut. Then the Cowboys made him responsible for calling the plays for their final preseason game against the Las Vegas Raiders. With all that, Prescott needs to block out the noise and focus on Week 1, and it sounds like he is. "Damn sure excited," Prescott said after the Cowboys' 31-16 win. "Being more involved, I guess you could say, in this game has just raised that excitement, the preparation that went into that. But at the same time, knowing I've been watching the guys we've got in a couple of weeks, ready to kick off this thing the right way, and a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, and got a great team that's heading to New York." As head-scratching as the Lance trade may have been at first glance, Prescott's job is not in question. The Cowboys' signal caller enters his 8th season on the heels of a year in which he threw the highest number of interceptions and second fewest passing yards in his career, but it is still his team and his offense. However, calling the plays Saturday gave him a new perspective on the offense. "I've got a lot of respect for calling plays," Prescott said. "I've been around for a while to understand the flow, understand what you're trying to get. Arizona's Kyler Murray called plays last preseason, and Buffalo's Josh Allen did it earlier this preseason, so it will be interesting to see how Prescott responds during the regular season now having donned a headset." Prescott gave props to Grier, saying he played his butt off against Las Vegas, and that a quarterback's performance like his 29 for 35, 305-yard, 4 total touchdown showing can override the importance of a play caller. Dak Prescott called the offensive plays for the Dallas Cowboys instead of Mike McCarthy in America's team's preseason finale versus the Las Vegas Raiders on Saturday night. "All we need is for Dan Quinn to run the defense and be the 21 St. Century version of Chuck Noll," as Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott just made his head coach Mike McCarthy totally expendable. Yes, Prescott was tasked with calling the plays of McCarthy's newfangled offense for America's team in their preseason finale versus the Las Vegas Raiders on Saturday night. All that proceeded to happen was the Cowboys' offense put up 31 points and made third-stringer something Will Grier look like he was still slinging the pill for Dana Holgorsen over at WVU. Oh, what have you done, Coach McCarthy? If the Cowboys don't play for an NFC championship, expect for Jerry Jones to make a big change. Conversely, there has never been a better time to be all in on them Cowboys than this NFL season. I kind of low-key love this for so many reasons. One, it further empowers Prescott as a leader and the focal point of this contending team. Two, it gives Grier plenty of good film to show to the rest of the league after not making the 53-man roster in Dallas. Three, it shows how comfortable McCarthy is in his own skin, for better or worse. And four, it gives off the vibe that this team rocks. Against my better judgment, the Cowboys are my pick to come out of the NFC this year. It has a lot to do with the NFC being down, the Philadelphia Eagles possibly pulling back, and the San Francisco 49 ERs probably being overdue for some absolutely delicious self-inflicted quarterback nonsense. And that leaves Dallas among a few teams left who could win multiple NFC playoff games this year. In reality, no. This impromptu decision to let Prescott call the offense will not inevitably cost McCarthy his job. It may actually give Prescott greater ownership of the scheme after moving away from what he had grown accustomed to under former teammate and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. What will do the Cowboys in this season is more postseason futility. Prescott and McCarthy will be blamed. As long as Prescott looks as good as Grier running McCarthy's offense, Dallas will be more than fine. The third story is Jordan Lewis joins the Dallas Cowboys roster. Jordan Lewis waited a long time to feel this good. Last October, the Cowboys' nickel cornerback suffered what was technically a Lisfranc fracture when tackled during an interception return against the Detroit Lions. That diagnosis, however, does not adequately capture the injury's harrowing severity. They call it a Lisfranc, Lewis said. I don't know what they call like it's a complete obliteration of the foot. I dislocated my entire foot. Lewis estimates having needed 6 to 7 months of recovery and rehabilitation before he could walk normally. Today, he can run. He can cut. In his rehab, he turned a corner this summer, putting him in the mix to avoid starting the regular season on the physically unable to perform list. Opening the year on PUP would require Lewis to miss at least the first 4 games before he could resume practice. The Cowboys are seriously considering avoiding that wait and having Lewis be included in their 53-man roster Tuesday. We'll see what management does, Lewis said late Saturday evening. That's their call. I know I've been working out really well and been looking good. I feel like I can go out there. I don't feel like I can be any more ready than I am right now. I've just got to go out there and practice, see how I actually am. I can't really gauge it right now. I haven't been out there on the field against anybody. Hopefully I can do that soon. The Cowboys have no shortage of talent in the secondary. That is the main argument for Lewis to begin on PUP, as the move would clear a roster spot that can be applied elsewhere. Dallas has Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Darren Bland, Eric Scott Jr., specialists CJ Goodwin and Kelvin Joseph as cornerback options. Those numbers, plus the fact that safeties Israel Mukuamu and Juanya Thomas can play nickel, are why Joseph is a likely roster casualty. The September 10th opener against the New York Giants is 2 weeks away. Activating Lewis allows a decent ramp-up period to evaluate where he is physically. With a veteran presence in Dak Prescott under center entering the 2023 NFL season, how does Trey Lance fit into things for the Dallas Cowboys? Just fine, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones implied to media in the aftermath of their trade for the young quarterback from the 49 ERs. Well, he gives us an opportunity to, at a level that we probably had never gone in the draft, to work and develop a young quarterback, Jones said Friday, HTDallasCowboys.com, and you need to be doing that. The Cowboys reportedly graded Lance as a second-round pick entering the 2021 NFL Draft, and on Friday, they sent a 2024 fourth-round pick to San Francisco in exchange for him over 2 years after their initial evaluation. Dallas liked Lance's athletic ability and arm strength during the draft process, Jones said, and the team was persistent in its efforts to trade for him. We hit this and figuratively didn't even get them off the phone, because we wanted him to get him in here, Jones said. Not in any way to be confused that we're not betting on our success on Dak. We just need the Dallas Cowboys, where we can be developing the best that we can develop for the future for quarterbacks. Before the Cowboys' preseason game against the Las Vegas Raiders on Saturday, Jones told reporters he didn't consider any impact on Prescott before trading for Lance. The 30-year-old will have a cap hit of $59.4 million for the final year of his contract in 2024, with no trade and no tag clauses in his deal. Didn't cross my mind, period, about an impact here regarding Dak, Jones said Saturday, HT Pro Football Talk. I know that Doc wants to do anything we can do to improve this team. We're going to do it. The facts are the decision to bring in as high a quality of talent as we could, and that's a young talent. We've been trying to do what we did today, almost every draft. But even though Jones didn't consider the impact a Lance trade would have on Prescott, he did think about how Prescott can help Lance, the former number 3 overall pick of the 2021 draft. Lance gives us an opportunity to do what we would always like to be doing. It would be ideal with Doc to have a young, prospective, developing quarterback that could just be in the room with him, Jones said Saturday.